And I am live. That is pretty cool. Today is 23rd of September 2025, Tuesday, and let's just begin. Yep. And today I wrote my first blog on Code Forces, and and yes, right here, this one. These are just syntactical sugars, these things, and people don't seem to like it somehow. Uh, Shit. This guy pointed out an error, which is nice. First, I had here, this and was not here because this has to say that the returned input stream is a reference. But yeah, that is cool. I didn't write it before, but now it is here. And uh, uh, shit. And here the thing is, if you give, let's skill draw this. Since my total contribution seems to be -5, right? -5. And here we see -6, -6. So what I have been able to figure out is for each upvote, for 5 upvotes, my contribution goes up by 5. And for each downvote, my contribution goes down by 1. That is unfair. And if we see represent upwards by x and downwards by y, we can say 5 upwards, 5 upwards plus downwards equals number of total contributions. And that is how the contribution is calculated. But here, this thing, I think here upwards and downwards have equal contribution. So this -6 would be equal to x plus y equals -6, and here this contribution is equal to -5. So I guess we should be able to figure out what these x and y values are, and that would be pretty nice. Let's see. So x plus y equals -6. We can write x equals -6 minus y, and here plug in x. So -6 minus y divided by 5 plus y equals, wait, shit. Y here has to be like negative, and here also y has to be negative. That makes more sense. Yes. And then we can say x equals y minus 6. This is the value for x. We can plug it here, and we will have y minus 6 divided by 5 minus y equals -5. That is the total contribution. And if you multiply by 5, -6 minus 5y equals -30, then we have -4y equals -24. Cut y equals divided by 4 is 6. So I should be having 6 downvotes in total. And in total, the number of upvotes I got would be x was equal to y minus 6, 0. Okay, that is one possibility, I guess. -6 and -5. So wait, this does not make sense. If I got 0 upvotes and 6 downvotes, my contribution would have been -6 and not -5. We have total number of downvotes minus the total number of upvotes plus 6. Shit, my bad. No, -6, -6, -6 because it is negative. And total number of downwards, upwards divided by 5 minus downwards is -5 and x equals -6 plus y. So y -6. Now we put this here. We have 6 y -6 by 5 minus y equals -5. Multiply by 5 both sides. Yep, 6 goes there, plus 6 is the total number of downwards, and 0 upwards. And if we do put plus 6 here, we would not get -5. Shit, how is this basic algebra not working out? Anyways, we can start solving CP31 sheet, which is the main thing. Balancing bit string. Okay. Balancing bit string. Okay, cool. Wait, why am I in new vim config? Emacs set, Emacs attach, TCP, CD 1500 level. Here also CD 1500 level. Start new vim. Update everything. And also stopwatch and escalator. Cool. Balanced bit string. And also tomorrow is a contest which is going to be pretty nice. Right. Okay, cool. Begin. A bit string is a string consisting only of characters 0 and 1s. A bit string is called key balanced if every substring of size k of this bit string has an equal number of zeros and ones, that is k by 2 of each. And what if k is odd? You are given an integer k and a string s which is composed only of characters 0, 1 and question mark. You need to determine whether you can make a key balanced bit string by replacing every question mark character in s with either 0 or 1. A string A is a substring of B if A can be obtained by deletion beginning or end. What if K is odd? K is even. Okay, K is always even. It is true here. Yes, no. This is a yes, no question. Okay. Greedy. Greedy. How many ones I have, how many zeros I have, I will have to fix that. Yep. We'll have to fix that. These question marks wait, I cannot do this, yes, because these two are like, yes, not fixable. This is 2. This is also not doable. Yes, no. It says no. Okay, if I just look at the first two, then it should be possible. And here, do I have to fix this one to something? When I am taking the first k substring of size k, I might have some zeros and ones and some question marks in there. and in that, if the number of zeros and ones is not same, then I will have to in change some of these question marks to some other number. But if they are same, then these question marks don't have to be fixed. They are ambiguous. They can become 1 or 0, but in pairs. Yes, and the only time that I actually have to fix them would be when the number of zeros and ones is not same in a substring. Like here, when I'm in the first substring of size k, this is sliding window, I guess. Substring of size k here, number of ones is 1 and number of zeros is 0. And I see the number of question mark also. And since the number of zeros and ones is different, I have to change one of the question mark, which is the only question mark I have here, to be equal to 0. Yep. And that is good. So number of ones and zeros would become 1 each, and number of question marks would go down to 0. And then I move my left pointer from this and bring it on this character, and my right pointer goes from this character to this, and my new substring is this. And here I will minus 1 from the number of count for ones because I left one out, and also hmm, but I would also like to change this. When my left pointer goes out from this, I do not want to subtract 1 from my number of question marks. I think I don't even have to do that, because if I have already gone through a question mark, if I'm not considering a question mark, then I must have changed it to some value, and I would have already reduced 1 for that question mark from my count. Okay, okay, something. Hello, this is the question right now. Balanced bit string. Let's see. Boilerplate. Int n. No, do I have n? Yes, I have n and k. String is cns. Now c uh, c0, c1, and cq. C as in like question mark q. C0 equals c1 equals cq equals 0. And for int I equals 0, I less than n less than k I plus plus, if si equals a 0, then c0. Shit, I am very stupid. Yes, c0 equals count s dot begin to s dot begin plus k to count the number of zeros, and c1 equals copy, replace with 1, find 0, replace with 1, replace with question mark, replace with question mark, find 0, replace with q. And now for int I equals 1 equals k, I less than n I plus plus, we will start iterating from here. And we will also have bool possible equals true, and if C0 is not equal to C1, then I have to change CQ to something, and these question marks to something. So CQ minus equals absolute value of C1 minus C0. C0 minus C1, whatever is the difference that I need, it has to be there. And after this, and if they are not equal, now if CQ is smaller than what is required, and what is required is absolute difference of C0 minus C1. If it is different, then P equals false. I don't even need this. I can just go C out no and return. I will return from the function. Else, wait, I can do this anyways. CQ minus equals absolute value of C1 minus C0. Now there is a left pointer and a right pointer at e distance of k, which is pretty cool. The left pointer is here at k, at I. So if si equals 1, then c1 plus plus, else if si equals 0, c0 plus plus, else if si equals question mark, and cq plus plus, and so update the current one and also update according to the last one, and the last left pointer would be yes. And okay, so if not phi, if si minus k plus 1 equals 1, then c1 minus minus, else if si minus k plus 1 equals 0, then c0 minus minus, and we will not update the question mark, because if there is any need, yeah, we will not update the question mark because we must have changed the question mark while we were inside the thing. Yep. And if the number of question marks that I have is smaller than the number that I need, if CQ, like this exact same thing, then also update CQ. Shit, and also after this, C1 equals C0 equals maximum C1 comma C0, because we are updating them, because we have updated our string. I think that is what is required. And if we can come out of this unscape, I think it is not going to work. Shit. Yes. Okay. I say no, no, yes, yes when I'm supposed. Okay, I'm always doing the opposite thing. In the first one, I say no and no. 4. 4 is okay. And then when we go here, this is okay. And then when we go here, this is also okay. I left a 0 and I found a 0. Should that always half of them are going to be 0 and half of them are going to be 1 exactly? So, okay. So what I'm leaving behind has to be what I had. Huh? This would also depend on their placement. Okay, I don't need this. I don't need, I do need this. Here till k, and this is okay, right? If k is 4, I go from 0 to 4, and 4 is not going to be included. So elements at index 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the first 4 elements will be included. And that is okay. Right. Now, what is the current thing at like at the current position? If let's say the current thing is of course Si is the current thing, and if it is 0 and the thing that we are leaving behind, which is Si minus A minus 1, if that thing is also 0, then we lost 1 0 and gained 1 0. And if Si is 1 and Si minus K plus 1, my bad, plus 1 is also 1, then we lost 1 1 and gained 1 0. And in that case, this thing is very much okay. This is very much doable. But, and so which just means Si should be equal to S, the current thing that we are at, in the place where the right pointer is at, minus I minus K. Shit, yes, 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 yes. Not plus 1, but minus K, because minus K is the thing that we are leaving behind. Okay, cool, makes sense. So either these two are equal to each other, or Si or S, or either one of them is equal to K. Equals to question mark. This equals Si equals question mark, or Si minus I minus K equals question mark. And for the first subsection, we have to check using this, the number of zeros that we have and the number of ones that we have and the number of question marks that we have. If the number of question marks is sufficient, then it is okay. But if they are not sufficient, then boom, boom, then not, it is not okay. And then subsequently, if si equals si minus k, this thing, or si equals question mark, or si minus k equals question mark, then it is okay, okay. Else, see out. No, no. Hmm. Okay. For the last and the second last one, the code is hallucinating. For this one, I said yes. Yes, because we have to do the same thing with the last subarray. Yes, yes, yes. With the last subarray, like we did here. So we can, okay, here we are checking for the first subarray, then we will check for the last subarray whose beginning index is going to be s dot end minus k plus 1, and the end index is going to be end minus k plus 1 minus k, because end is not included. And replace this by 1 and replace this by question mark. I think now it is better. Okay, for the third last case, which is this one. Here answer is supposed to be no, but we say yes, yes, why not? Because when we are here, it is okay. And then when we are here, we left 1 and we gained a question mark, a mystery box. But when we were here, this thing got fixed and we cannot change it. This is what is needed. This is what is what must be there. So we need some way to fix these question marks to either 0 or to 1. Yes, so we need to find some way to fix these to something. It's like we need to get a valid substring of length k if possible, and then should keep repeating. It should keep repeating. It should keep repeating, because when we lose a 1, we get a 1. Uh, Not exactly repeating. Then we lost a 0 and we got a 1. Okay, if we have a sequence of 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, something, let's say x is my pattern, and here the last thing is 0, the next thing is the same thing as this, and then let's say the next thing is 1, then the next thing is 1, because this shit, it has to be repeating. Makes sense, it has to be repeating. 1 1. But these question marks, okay, question marks are also there. So how do we fix question marks? Okay, yes, that makes sense. It has to be repeating. That is true. Yo, let's go. Part 86. Yes. Like 101, 10. So it is repeating 101, 101. Yes, it is repeating. It seems to be. Then and then 0, 110. It is not right. Wait. The second string begins when the last one ends, right? Here are k equals 4. So this is our first string, and then yes, so this is our substring, and we are matching if this thing is repeating. Then the next substring of size either k or smaller is 10, which is repeating for like whatever length it is there. Okay, so now we fix. Okay, now we also introduce question marks into this, and we are saying these will have some value. I think we should take the whole string and break it up into pieces of k, and one piece which is smaller than k or either equal to k, does not matter. And shit, I'm getting a call. Wait a minute. Shit, I thought remind me in an hour. Shit, I thought I was on focus mode. Okay, cool. And the first strings have to match. Either there is a match or there is a question mark. Yep, either a match or a question mark. Yes, yeah. This now seems very easy, very easy. Thanks to this observation. This now seems pretty straightforward, does it? The total length of in this whole thing is going to be n. If we add the length of this thing, length of this thing, length of this thing, so we can go through them like this. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Okay, this makes sense. And yes, this makes sense. So we will just split the string like this in a string of vectors. Okay. Int n and scene n and shit and n and k, scene n and k, and then we are going to have a vector of string of size. Size is going to be uh, n plus k minus 1 divided by k, the upper limit of n divided by k, and string. Shit, how do I divide the string? Scene s. Now I have to divide the string, or maybe I don't have to divide the string. I just take it as it is, and I equals 0, I less than k, I plus plus, and for int j equals 0, j less than n plus k minus 1 divided by n, and j plus plus We don't need that. So I is the like in index in particular is string, substring, and J is the index for the string that we are at. Now, yes, so for every substring, we are first checking their 0th character. And char C, it is going to be equal to S I, the first character. Cool. Now, uh, either bool P equals true. So if S bracket J into K plus I, this thing equals C, or this current thing, this current thing, this current thing, Si equals not Si, the current thing which is J into K plus I, this thing equals a question mark, or C equals a question mark. All of these cases are valid, and if C equals question mark, then C equals S J into K plus I. Whatever the current string is, either the current string is also a question mark or not a question mark. If this is true, then okay, not less, else P equals false and break and P C out depending on P, yes or no. Shit. I say yes, yes, yes. Why is this always saying yes? This P is never false. So the current string is either equal to C, or the current string is 0, or the string that I have been matching for, that is equal to 0. Okay. Okay. Ye- Okay. 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 Mhm. Okay. And now when we are at the end, we will have C equal to something. So for int, we will go through all the strings again. Int j equals j less than n plus k minus 1 divided by n j plus plus. What we will do is s j plus k plus I equals j lower than the upper limit of this divided by k. Shit, why didn't I have a error here? Out of bounds again and again. Can we check for every character at a length of k without needing of dividing them? Yes, I guess like this. I think I got the solution, so I should not tell more now. Shit, yes. The essay in the description made me emotional. Good luck, champ. Thank you. I am also on the path of becoming the best engineer I can possibly be. Yes, let's be best together. Hello. J equals 0. 0 is the like zeroth substring, n plus k minus 1 divided by k. How many times can I divide n into substrings? And also shit, let's say x equals j into k plus I, and here I will say if x smaller than n and all of these. Yes, replace the occurrence of j into like shit. Okay, yes, I learned how to do this. Uh, backslash v as in like verbatim slash capital V V shit. Okay. Slash V slash S shit. Okay, let me do this the normal way. J. Okay, 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 my bad. At least okay. I have to do the same thing here. And x equals J into K plus I if x smaller than n. Shit, I am messing up. I am messing up. First one, I am saying no. Okay, what am I even doing? Okay, shit. For every character in K, we want it to repeat. C is the character which is currently there, and J we are going J is the index for the substring that we are indexing, and then we do this. K is the length. Yes, if K equals 4, then and J equals 1, then the next substring should start from 5, index 5. Should start from index 4 because 0, 1, 2, 3 would be the indexes for the first substring, like 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is if k equals 4. This would be the indices of the first substring, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 for the next one. So I should change this a bit. This thing, whatever it is, -1. No, no, no. This thing, exactly. 8, 9, 10, 11. Because this one starts at 4, this one starts from 0, this one from 4, this one from 8. That is cool. And then plus I to index internally in K, which starts from 0 right here. Okay, so that is indexing is correct. And we are going till of upper limit of this thing. And then shit, we don't even have to check this. We can just say yes, after taking this, if n and rem is n remainder k. And now s plus equals a string of question marks. How many question marks? K minus rem. Okay, this is okay, and if because this is okay, we don't have to check this condition, and we don't have to check any of this condition. J into k plus I. Okay, I might be over engineering this thing. That seems like it. String plus question mark. This part is making the string a whole, like fully divisible by n remainder by k. If 2 is returned, 2 minus, yes, k minus remainder will give me how many characters I would require to make this string a whole. See out s. Okay, that is not what I expected. And that is like shit. No. Okay, I got a single question mark, but then this thing. Shit. Does the number come before and then the thing that I want to add? Okay, I guess it. Okay, it is messing up. It is like messed up. Okay, now it is okay. Now it is actually okay. The answers are not matching, but the string is getting as I would like it to be. Okay, and I am saying yes here. Why do I say yes? The answer should be no. And shit, yes, the number of zeros and ones also has to be same. Not just that the string is repeating, but the number of zeros and ones has to be same. Okay, which we can check here. Int zr equals count s dot begin till s dot end, s dot begin till s dot end, not end, s begin plus k, count the number of zeros, and int one equals count s dot begin and s dot end plus begin plus k, count the number of ones, and yes, p equals zr equals ones. Okay, shit, I expected this to be right. Okay, even though in this step we are changing everything. Let's count the number of, yes, let's count the number of question marks. Q equals count s dot, yes, and q equals count s dot begin and s dot begin plus k, count the number of question marks. P equals Q has to be exactly number of question marks. Like I can change them into anything I want. Greater than equal to the difference, but also odd and even. Greater than equal to absolute difference between 1 minus z. The number of question marks I have. Shit. Third one, third. This one, this one. Answer is supposed to be no. I say yes. That is wrong. Should you are a hacker, you should be able to figure it out. It is this thing. Shit. Just my name. And I have some contribution, some positive contribution to the community. Okay. I mean, this should be invalidated just because of this. I have 1 and then I have a 0. This should be invalidated because of that. And why was this thing unable to catch it? Yes, 1 0. I have 1 and 0 in the second substring. So when I am here, when j equals 0, yes, when j equals j has to go to the no. J is, yes, j is the index, 0 index for the substrings. So j should go equal to 1 at maximum. J will go from 0 to 1, and when j is 0 and k is k, which is 2, this thing will return 0 and this thing will return 0. And we already have c equal to some number, and we see, okay, this thing will pass, but then when j equals 1, we will have 2 plus 0 for the first character, which is just 2, and we will see is sx, which is s2, which is this thing. S2 is this thing equal to c? No, it is not, because c is 1, c is 1 and s2 is 0, so that is false. Is sx equal to question mark? No, it is equal to 0. Yes. Is c equal to question mark? No, so we should be doing p equal to false. Yes. Or p or this thing. Okay, shit. P and this thing. Okay. Answer correct or accepted, whatever this AC means. 47 minutes. And I still do not get how it is working, but I do have a fine mental model. I have not done a question like this. This is sliding window, something like sliding window. I have not done them, not done sliding window questions. So I'll have to practice that. Okay, okay. Let's rewrite int. We have three things in the input, n, k, and the string. First, we will take n and k, and then we have our string c in s. And we want to divide this string into chunks of size k. And at the end, there might be some remainder when we divide n by k. So we want to remove them and remove them, or like extend that chunk and make s big enough so that s is completely divisible by k. And we want to do that in a way that does not affect our final answer. So we can just add enough question marks at the end of s to make s completely divisible by k. We can divide s into chunks of size k. So we have remainder n divided by k, and we now want to extend s by some amount string. And how many question marks do we need? We need k minus rem question marks. If rem is equal to 0, then we will just be adding, like, yeah, take remainder by k. If rem is equal to 0, then k minus 0, remainder k would still be 0, and we won't be adding anything, and we want to add question marks. If rem is k minus 1, then we will add one question mark at the end so that n is completely divisible by k. And now for int I equals 0, I less than k, I plus plus. I is the index of the character in each individual chunk. And now for int j equals 0, j less than n divided by k. Now n is not completely divisible by k. We can here do n plus something so that n equals s dot size. Z is not working, s dot size. That is cool. Now n is completely divisible by k, and here j plus plus, where j is the index of the substring that we are indexing. And now int x is going to be the index for this current substring, index for this current character, which is the ith character in the jth substring, and it is going to be j into k plus I. That is the thing. And before checking the ith character in all of the j substrings, we will see what the character actually is. Not chat, but char is a I. And you might ask, what is a? A is nothing. It is s. Now, whatever character we are at, three things are possible, and that is either si, no, sx, the current character, equals the character that this current character is supposed to be equal to, or sx equals a question mark. So it can be changed into and twisted to our will, or c itself equals a question mark, right? Right. And if any of these things is true, then it is okay. And also if c equals question mark, that would mean till now we have only seen question marks, and whatever we can update c to be equal to cx. So CX is either itself a question mark, or it is a string, or it is a 0 or a 1. And in either case, C will get updated. And this is okay because if we have seen some other character like 0 or 1 till this point, C would have been updated. So C either is a question mark till now because we have only seen question marks, and if we have only seen question marks, then we can change them into anything we want. But if we have seen some zeros and ones, C would already have been updated. And so there never arises a case in which we are changing C from a 0 to a 1 or from 1 to 0. So this is okay. And then after this, we will either have C equal to something, some character like 0 or 1, or not equal to some character, right? Right. And do we want to go through and change them? I think we don't have to change them. And also, else if that is not true, then P equals false and break. And for here, in every loop, this has to be true and P has to be true. And we will say P initially is actually true. And I think that is cool. Then we just need to compare in the first string. In the first string, int ZR is the number of zeros. Count the number of zeros beginning from s dot begin going till s dot begin plus k, count the number of zeros, and then count the number of ones, which is count s dot begin and s dot begin plus k, count the number of ones, and also the number of question marks, count s dot begin, s dot begin plus k, count the number of question marks, and p equals p, and p has to be true, and also q, the number of question marks that we have, has to be greater than or equal to the absolute difference, not bas, absolute difference of ZR minus 1. If that is true, then depending on P, we output yes or we output no. Or we get a wrong answer in the second last case. Hmm. Hmm. We need to change them. Okay, shit. I thought after going through something, after going through all the strings for character I, we can just go through it. But if we do have a certain choice, then we would like to fix every ith character in every jth string to be equal to C. So j starting from 0, j less than n divided by k, and j plus plus. What we do is s j into k plus I equals C. Mhm. Cool, cool. And I think I have this right now. Okay, submit. And let's see. I think this will work. This might work. This might be correct, and it is correct. But shit, I cannot take the credit for this question because here Anshul brother helped me a little bit. Is it we need to get a valid substring of length k if possible, and then it should keep repeating. It should keep repeating. Yes, this fact I was not aware of. And this makes total sense. Not because whatever we leave behind, whatever the left pointer was pointing to earlier, and the new character that the right pointer is pointing to right now, they have to be same. Like they literally have to be same. So either we can do this character by character or in chunks of size k, and then it should be keep repeating. This is very genius, I would say, because my monkey brain went directly to this strategy of going through the string character by character. But using this fact that the string should keep repeating, every string of size k should keep repeating, we can compare these strings in chunks of k. Even though in those chunks individually we are going by character through character, that is fine. That is completely fine. Because this is easier to implement than something like this, in which we have a complete string and a left pointer and a right pointer. Right pointer moves by one character, left pointer also moves by one character, and we are comparing those characters. They have to be same. Yes, this thing I think is easier to implement. Like this thing seems to be easier to implement. That is good. That is good. That is good. I will remember this. That things should keep repeating. That makes sense. Balanced string. What are the tags? I think the tags are going to be, what are the tags going to be? Constructive algorithm. Constructive algorithm, I think, should be one of the tags. And what else? Constructive algorithm and loop. I mean, of course, yes, there is going to be a loop. Yeah, constructive algorithm. I don't know. Implementation and strings. Yeah. This didn't use any heavy data structures, just normal logic thing. Question number A. Shit. This was A. Balanced bit string. This one. So that is some LGBTQ thing. Let's denote the balanced substring if any deriving from S to be T. Okay. Okay, if there is a valid substring, then it is going to be T. Okay. Also, for the ease of the tutorial, let's let the strings be 0 indexed. So the first character has index 0 and the last has n minus 1. First of all, let's prove a very important observation for every I, such that I is between 0 and n minus k, Ti equals 0 and n minus k, or I should be between 0 and k. Okay, shit. Okay. N minus k. So that, okay, makes sense. Ti equals Ti plus 1. This is because the length k substring is starts at index I, and I plus 1 starting at index I and I plus 1 share the k minus I characters t in the, like, the balanced substring that we get, which is t plus I plus 1 to t to the like second last character, or the last character. This is the last character in this finished string where Ti is the first character. So in order for both the strings to have the same number of ones and zeros, their remaining characters Ti and Tk, I plus k, must both be either 0 or 1. That makes sense. Ti is the first character in the current substring that we are matching, and Ti plus k is the first character in the like next substring which there could be. Extending this fact, we can easily prove that I equals Ti equals Tj if j is congruent, I is congruent to j modulus k. Okay. So first of all, for each I between 0 and k is not included, 0 is included. We need to find out s if all sj such that modulus is same can be converted to the same character I. There cannot exist both 0 and 1 among these characters. Yes, yes, yes. Furthermore, we can deduce some information for I. It must be 0 if at least one of the characters is 0, and must be 1 if at least one of the characters is 1. Character among Sj is 1, or it can be decided, can be undecided, and can be freely assigned 0 or 1 if all Sj's are 0. Yes, makes sense. Like this one is question mark, this one is question mark, because here this one is free. These two are free, like free to be anything they want. That's the colors. Lastly, we need to check if we can make the substring this have exactly half the characters are equal to 1. We don't need to check for any other substring because the condition. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't have to count the number of ones. What I need here now is q plus zr, the current number of zeros, is, and also I have some q, or yes, n divided by 2, or k divided by 2, subtract, this is how many zeros I need, minus zr, this is how many zeros I have. If this thing is, this thing has to be smaller than or equal to k, because k is the maximum number of zeros, extra zeros that I can have. It is wrong. K by 2 is Kobayashi. K is even. Okay. Okay, I messed up in this part. Okay, I still messed up. This is how many zeros I need. This is how many zeros I have. So, this has to be shit. K minus k divided by 2 is the number of zeros that I need. ZR is the number of zeros that I do have. That has to be smaller than or equal to Q. So k divided by 2 minus ZR is the number of extra zeros that I need. And if the number of extra zeros that I need is smaller than or equal to Q, then we are happy. But it is somehow not the case. We are not happy. Why? Because everything is a zero here. Everything is a zero here. Hmm. This thing and like and ZR smaller than equal to K by 2. It is wrong because of this. Ah, okay, it is right now. That is cool. That is cool. Tomorrow contest dominator. Yes, he might actually beat like the first person from India to have to be a legendary grandmaster, and it is going to be fun. There, right there, and shit. He is not the one giving tomorrow's contest. Okay, he cannot give tomorrow's contest. Shit. Yes, of course. Shit. My bad. But bro is at his peak. His maximum rating is 2983. His current rating is 2983. Bro is at his peak, literally. And yes, he cannot give tomorrow's contest because he is the one who is like organizing tomorrow's contest in Spanish. Ciao. That is nice. And tomorrow's contest is in the middle of the day. That is amazing. And Dominator spelling is wrong here, right? And that is pun. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. So thinking about this thing was good. This is one new thing that I came to know, that strings should keep repeating. Substrings should keep repeating. Yo, hacker. Let's let's roast, or uh, whatever the good term is. Code forces profile this. Okay, bro is also at his peak, and from Punjab University. Shit, is that the correct spelling? Bro is literally is at his peak, and he has only lost few rating points ever. He is a pupil. That is nice. And you have solved 500 problems. How how is that possible? Like shit, that is a lot of problems. I mean, if you have solved 500 problems, which is, I guess, more than double the amount of problems that I have solved, I would expect your rating to be higher. And also, you have been on Code Forces for pretty long. You started last year, November, then December. That is nice. I guess you should gear up now, and you should change up your like way of learning, because 500 questions is a lot of questions. I don't think I have done 500, nearly this many questions. At maximum, I would say I've done 300 questions. Yeah, 300 questions. Okay, so not more than double the amount I have done, but still, this is a lot of questions, and you have been here for longer. And yes, the reason for this criticism is, I think you should gear up, and you should change the way that you are doing things here, because you can do better than this. You can do better than this, better than 1227 after 500 questions. I got lost in starting level problems. Hmm. You got lost in starting level problems, and you did like 57 problems of 1400 rating, and 64 problems at 1300 rating. Okay, I would just say this, improve or find the things which you are doing wrong, right? There must be something that you are doing wrong, because 587 problems is a lot of problems, almost 600. Hmm. And you have been here for longer. So I would just say, gear up a little bit, and like, yeah, gear up a little bit, and yeah, you are at your peak. That is nice. 27, 12, 27. Yep. Revise a few things. Revise how you are solving problems, and yep, change up. That is done. That is done. Ap- Appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome. Will become CM faster than you. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see who becomes CM faster. Okay, let's see. The challenge is on. You are a hacker. You might be able to hack some things, but let's see who becomes a CM faster, right? And let's like literally actually see who becomes a CM faster on. Okay, let's see. I'm watching you. From now on, I'm watching you, and let's see who becomes a CM faster. I think we need 2100 rating. This one. Candid. Oh, we need 1900. That is nice. 1900. Let's see. Right, it is on. On. Uh, let's make it more concrete. It is on. The challenge is on. Let's see who becomes a CM faster. और कोडिंग की तरह कौन सा रंग. Let's see who becomes a CM faster. I will be watching you. And refresh. My target is for this year. Yes, okay. Come on, come on. What is your ID? Yeah, thank you for that. What is your ID? I will also send you a friend request so that, and I think we can also make a group on Code Forces teams. Uh, shit, I have inactive members. Okay, I will figure this out and I will send you both a request so that we can be in a single team and we can see what the other person is doing. Okay, you have been at peak, but you are right now not at your peak. Should you also just started Code Forces? That is nice. That is nice. We just okay, both of us are at the same level right now, and that is pretty amazing. You have solved less number of problems than me, and your rating is about the same as mine. This is pretty nice. This is pretty nice. You are a friend of one user, which is I guess me. This is pretty nice. That is cool. That is cool. That is cool. Shit. Now I'm getting afraid. I'm scared. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for that. I told you I lost 100. Yes, you lost 100 in this and this. Let's now see who becomes like CM faster. You have only given 10 contests. That is lower than the number of contests that I have given. Shit, you are better. You are better. Shit, I am scared. But let's see who becomes. Shit, this is not visible. Do not see this. Uh, let's see who becomes a CM faster. Candidate master. Hey, this is getting real. Of course, it is real. Okay, now powered edition. Next question. And yes, just for the last question, I would like to say one 1 hour, an hour. And yes, this was a nice question because of the strings. Let's start this one. Okay. You have an array A of length n. For every positive integer x, you are going to perform the following operation during the xth second. Okay. For some distinct indices, k indices, which are between 1 and n inclusive, add to power x minus 1 to each corresponding position of a. Okay, to each of these positions I will add 2 power x minus 1. Wait, aij. where j ranges from 1 to k. Okay, note that you are allowed to not select any indices at all. Okay, you have to make a non-descending as fast as possible. As fast as possible, find the smallest number t such that you can make the array non-descending after at most t seconds. And what is this value k? Non-descending. So like equal or increasing. Wait, equal or increasing? Can't we just start going from the left and find the smallest, the biggest difference? Wait, this seems a bit easy. Yes, here answer is 0 because and here the answer should be, I will not look there, answer should be okay. Yes, okay. Let me first try to do this like pretty fast because we have a challenge now. Vector int a size n for int reference area, int c equals a 0 for int I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus, int mx equals 0. E Yes, int mx equals 0. Mx equals, will not go past the last element. The current element? No. We can go up to the last element. A0 A0 is the value of the current element and it cannot be smaller. And its value should be at least equal to C. AI's value should be at least equal to C. So C minus AI. If AI is greater than C, then mx is already at least equal to 0 and that is okay. Yes, and then when we leave, C equals maximum of C or AI. Answer should be mx. Okay, wrong. Why wrong? 0 is what is expected. How can I make this thing right? And what is this? X. Okay, time. In the xth second, I can add to power x minus 1. So in the first second, okay, so now I have the maximum distance. Uh, not the maximum distance. Yes, the maximum amount that I need. And so first I'll add 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So what is the greatest power of 2 that I need to add? Similarly, if I need to add 5, then I will first add 1, then 2, that is 3, and then 4. I'm already at 5. So sums, I need sum. mx, I need mx, and if I find the greatest power of 2 that is greater than mx, which means that the last power was smaller than mx. Yes, yes, okay, and that would be the answer. 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 And answer equals 0 and while 1 long long, 1 long long, just long long, I've shifted by answer. This thing is smaller than mx, answer plus plus. Hopefully the answer here was supposed to be 2. Less than or equal to would also work. If this is a perfect power of 2, then still I would like to go up by 1, and yeah, if mx is something, that is. Hmm. I think there might be some edge cases, edge cases, edge cases. Answer equals 0, 0 seconds. I think I don't need to check for this. Mx is how much I need to add. It might be 0 or it might be something else. Yes, if I do not check this, this will give wrong answer in the second test case. Why is this right? Okay. We must have done answer plus plus because mx is 0, and if we left shift 1, yes, it is already big enough. 1, we do not left shift 1 by any amount, and still 1 is going to be greater than mx, which is 0. So I think that is good enough. That might actually be good enough. But am I sure? Okay. Take an n, a, fill a, current, that is the current minimum value that is required. It is a0, and maximum distance that we have seen till now is initially 0. And for the current element, mx is going to be maximum of mx, which is either 0 or some positive integer, or c, that is the minimum value that is required here to be. So if a0 equals c, we will get 0, and that is okay. If ai is smaller than c, then this thing a minus ai is going to return some integer value, and if that value is greater than mx, then we will go with that. And then wait, for every positive integer x, you are going to perform the following operation during the xth second. These indices, note you are allowed to not select any indices at all. Okay, I can select any indices, so that is fine. Shit, but I'm always adding powers of 2. This is more, shit, this might not. Shit, since I'm always adding powers of 2, I can get to anything I want. Yes, if I want to get to a sum of 3, I can get to a sum of 3. If whatever I want, I can get there, because the precision that I get is okay. Okay, and then C. Either we still keep the minimum requirement to be equal to C, or if AI, the current number, is greater than C, then we push the minimum required up by taking maximum. Now we know that mx, whatever it is the maximum amount that we want any number to be increased by. And here we say answer is 0. In 0 seconds, the number that we can So at the end, answer is pointing to the highest power of 2 that is greater than mx. Like 2 power answer is always going to be greater than mx. And this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine because since 2 power answer is always going to be greater than mx, and we are always answer is the second, like time second, this x value. Then when we are at this answer second, we can add a power of 2 power answer minus 1. And since we are adding something 2 power answer minus 1, this thing is smaller than 2 power answer, and this thing is bigger than mx. And when we got to this thing, we must have added before, if we add all the numbers that we could add before this point, like 2 power answer minus 2 dot 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 till 2 power 0, all of this, if we add all of them, they are going to be equal to 2 power answer minus 1 from this thing. And that is okay, since we know mx is smaller than this thing, and this is the maximum sum that we can reach 2 power answer minus 1, then we will always be able to reach mx at answer time. So this is okay. Let's see. Hello. What's that panel and preview you using to check in new accepted? Cool. Shit. Okay, cool. 30 seconds. It is called Assistant New. This is a plugin which you can add to your new thing, new configuration using Lua or something, lazy new or something. And you can also add custom keys, not custom keys, but uh, custom key maps, which will start this thing. For me, it is CPP, leader CPP. And I would like to see how can I remove Python from this thing. Python is bad. I do not want Python. Commands Python. I have removed Python from my configuration, but still I do see Python. An assistant new. I have removed Python, but I still see this thing here. I only have CPP, but I do see Python somehow in the prompt. Anyways, we are back here. E data structure fan. Wait, where even are we? Yeah, but we got this one right. That is cool. 13 minutes. That is nice. 13 minutes. That is pretty cool actually. But this one was easier. This one was easier because binary. Binary is good. Binary is good. This was good. And what are the tags? I think, let me predict or guess the tags should be, I think, bit manipulation. Yes, just normal bit manipulation maths. Greedy, yes, math and greedy. Greedy is a nice word. Yes, greedy is a nice word. This one is A. This is not the A we are looking for. Power addition. Observation one. Behind story. Shit. Yo. Let's uh, define B as ideal destination of A where we used operations. This thing said greedy. That makes sense, but why was I stupid enough? I was not able to say greedy when I was predicting the tags, and that is not good. I should have been able to say that this thing is greedy. Okay. Observation 1, whatever you select any b, whatever you select any b, there is only one way to make it, because there is no more than single way to make a specific amount of addition. That means we just have to select optimal destination of a. For example, if you want to make a from this a1 from 10 to 21, then you must add 11, and from, because we want to go from 10 to 21, we have to add 11, and 11 can be added by adding 1 plus 8 plus 2, which is 2 power 0, 2 power 3, and 2 power 1, and we skipped 2 power 2, 0, 1, 2, and we went to 3. So the time here would be 4 seconds. It would take us 4 seconds to make 10 equal to 11. Then you must do 10 to 11. Yes, we added 1, then we added 2, and then we added 8. There is no other way to make 10 to 21 using given operations. So now we have to minimize this thing. Makes sense, as smaller differences lead to shorter time to make a non-descending. Yes, B is optimal when BI is the maximum value among all the BIs from 1 to I minus 1 and AI, the current value in A. B is optimal when BI is the maximum. Either it is equal to AI, the current ith value in the A string in the original vector, or the maximum values in all the B values that have been till this point from the start. Because each position I, we have to make BI minus AI as smallest as possible. Since BI should not be smaller than any values of B, yes, that is why we are taking the maximum among these and the maximum A value. And also AI, we derive such formula. So from position 1 to n, greedily fill BI and check how many seconds are needed to convert AI to BI. The answer is the maximum needed seconds among all the positions, and time complexity is n, but you can do it in this much time using set somehow. Okay. Originally, there was a different problem for this position, but it used XOR as I made new D2E, D1C problem. I threw all these problems away and put this. Okay, XOR is nice. XOR is nice. XOR is like really nice because XOR has memory, and it is nice to have memory. Okay, let's go 340. And we have done 2 questions till now, and that is nice. That is pretty nice. And yep. And if like if someone could help me with a little thing, whenever can you calculate the time that it takes when you type a message and then when you see the message on my screen? That would give me an indication of how much lag there is in the stream. So you can just type some message, hi or anything here, and then see how much time it took for that message to appear on the stream. And that would be the amount of delay or latency that there is on the stream. And it would be really nice if someone could help me with that. Like, pretty please, anyone, just type something, anything in the chat, and see how much time it took for that message to appear on the stream, like in the video stream here. And uh, uh, thanks. Any help would be appreciated. Uh, yes, you just have to type. For if anyone has joined just now, you can just type anything Okay, 1316. So that is crazy timing. In seconds, I guess it is less than a minute. Of course, it is less than a minute. It possibly is a few seconds, 8 to 9 seconds. Mhm. That is a bit too much. 8 to 9 seconds. Shit, that is literally a bit too much. In stream seconds settings, I have changed this to ultra low latency. Bro, what React project you have made? I was watching your GitHub yesterday, but cannot access some deployment. You cannot access deployment. That is crazy. Yes, shit. This is at ultra low latency and should be pretty nice. Okay. Yes, I have made some React projects, but like they are in the past because I was not paying attention to what I was doing. So, what is this? This is a fork from somewhere else. And tmux config cp31. I thought I would upload every single solution that I do in cp31 shit, but that is like very retarded behavior. Whole shit. This was I was making my own blog site, but yeah, not now, not now. Helpers thinks that I need other tools, and okay, let me show you. Universal, it need permission. Okay. You cannot access deployment. What does that mean specifically? On Vercel, it needs permission. Yes, if you have a React project and you are deploying it on Vercel, it needs permission. And yes, so are you not able to see some of my repository? Is that the thing? And this thing, helpers, this has a few programs. This one, get RFC CPP. And I can use this one, get RFC. Let's say I want to get RFC. RFC is request for comments for any protocol. Let's say I want to get RFC number 137 and I am storing it into file.txt. This should work. It does work. Now, if I open file.txt, there is this whole text. This is an RFC. And as you can see, the number is 137. That is nice. Request for comments 137. And if we go to the website, RFC 137, we see this telnet pool. These should be the same thing. Telnet protocol. Telnet protocol. This is a request for comment. This is a request for comment, and these are the same things. Yeah, so this program just fetches a file from the internet and downloads it, and that is it. Not working site like GitHub. No, you working site like GitHub pages. No, your working site like GitHub pages. I'm unable to comprehend what does this mean. I am using GitHub pages somewhere. Yes, I think I have deployed some stuff on GitHub pages. I think this one in this game is deployed on GitHub pages or Vercel. Flappy Bird. Shit, why do I have this? Uh, Actions. Should this not deployed? This is deployed using Vercel. Ah, yeah. Key. I also made some projects on React, like a weather site, product site, stack mine game, and all. Stack mine is nice. Yeah, I can see your site which are deployed on GitHub pages, but not on Vercel. Okay, you cannot see my sites which are uh, that makes sense because this site, this Flappy Bird site, This one. This is, I think, deployed on Vercel, and there is no. Okay, here is the link. I think this should work. Should work ideally. Why does it say Flappy Bird PSI2? That is crazy. This is not working for me also. Watching, one person is watching this. Shit. Flappy Bird playing. Shit, it is working. It is working. We can start the game. Okay, we should refresh. This is a shitty game that I made. Okay, why am I unable to see towers? It asked for permission for me. Shit, you cannot see this website? And this is a terrible website. Like, I am unable to see towers. Shit, this is bad. I am unable to see towers. Towers are not there. Shit. Yeah. Yep. So there are supposed to be towers coming in from the right, and I think they are logically coming in from the right, but visually we are unable to see them. Somehow something is wrong, and this is a terrible website. Look at this. What the heck? This is a terrible website, and max score is 2977. Shit. Now it is stuck. And why is this plane from right to left when our plane is going from left to right? And yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Maybe from very important towers have changed. Lol, yes, that makes sense. And maybe they fell down. That also makes sense. Maybe they fell down. Where am I importing the towers from? Public assets. I don't even remember what I did here. Public crash mp3. These are the sounds. Shit, flap sound. Point mp3. What is point mp3? I cannot play sound on GitHub. Makes sense. Plain thumbnail. There is a thumbnail. Okay, there is a thumbnail. This is what is there now. And shit. Oh, and we also have white dot svg there. Flappy plane. Why is this called flappy plane? And there are sounds. Okay, shit. The towers are gone. The towers are gone. Bars.js. This is a bar. Height, background, width, position, window, inner height. Change the height according to this thing. Okay, and where is the image I might be using? Yes, maybe they did fail. Building. Building. Tower colors. Shit, I'm not using a photo for the building. I made it using colors. Border radius. App.jsx. If not over, then return. Hmm. Play crash sound. Play point sound. What is point? Point. When I have a point. That that was point sound. And crash sound. It crash point flap sound. Bar dot height. Shit, I don't know why I am unable to see the bars. That is crazy. Yeah, we can fix this at some point, I guess. But now we do this thing. The next question. K complete. Yes, K complete word. K complete words. Okay. And stopwatch. We have done two questions, which is fine, but should have been able to do more. It's been 2 hours. Okay, cool. Word S of length n is called K-complete if S word S of length n is called K-complete if S is a palindrome, that is. Okay, and S has a period of K, that is Si equals Sk plus I. This kind of the same thing there. For example, ABD, this is a palindrome and the period is 3. Is 3 word complete? ABCA is not, because there is no period. Makes sense. Bob is given a word S of length n, consisting only of lowercase Latin letters and an integer k, so that k and n is divisible by k. He wants to convert S to any k complete word. To do this, Bob can choose some i's and replace the letter at ith position with some other lowercase Latin letter. So now Bob wants to know the minimum number of letters he has to replace to convert S to any k-complete word. Note that Bob can do 0 changes if the word S is already there. Okay, so I have to answer them independently, N and K, and immediately to complete I have to make the period equal to 2. So okay, first of all I need all of these to be single, and individual word, like individual period here, this thing individually also has to be a palindrome. I don't have to check if S completely is a palindrome. These each chunk of size K, they have to be a palindrome. So first of all, okay, so changing. Okay, we can go character by character. And yes, okay. This is very similar to the like second last question that we did. Yes, I'm in Newham. That is good. N and K, taken N, taken K, string S, taken S. Uh, shit, some of my keys have stopped working. Okay, taken S. Then what I will have is a vector of integers called C, as in like count, and size is going to be K. And then for int I equals 0, I less than K ith character, I plus 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 for int j equals 0. In the jth j, in the jth place, yes, in the jth substring, j is always less than n by k, and we know n is always divisible by k, so that is cool. J plus plus. K can be at maximum 2 power 5. So I guess I would like to have this to be a vector of integers, and the size of that internal vector of integers is going to be 26, because we have, I guess, 26 characters in English. Okay, and then for, yes, okay, C count in for character I, for the ith character in the jth string, so j into k, plus I, and the current character is, yeah, this thing, and the current character is S j into K plus I. That is the current character, and increase its count. What am I even doing here? This thing has to be subtracted minus A. Okay, I here is the ith character in chunks of size K, and this thing is the literally that character which is there in the S string at this position, and we do minus A to get the index, and we are increasing its count by 1. It makes sense. And then, okay, then for int I equals 0, I equals 0, I less than K by 2, and I plus plus. So we need to update the current one. Okay, in this current position, how many A's I have, how many B's I have, how many C's I have, it will depend on that. And also I have to make all of these things equal. Okay, and add equals 0, and int sm equals 0, and we will call this thing answer, which makes more sense, and mx equals 0. Yes, and for int j from 0 till j is smaller than 26, j plus plus, we will go through ci ci bracket j, we will add this to sm plus equals cij, and also the character at the opposite side, sm plus equals c n. If I is the current character, then what is the character at the opposite side? It is n minus 1 minus I, j, get its j character also, and mx equals maximum of mx comma ci j comma ci n minus 1 minus I and j, and we will do answer plus equals sm minus mx. Yes, because mx is the maximum amount of characters that we can save from changing. Or we messed up at some point. Yes, my keyboard is messing up. Ah, shit. Okay. AB, application binary interface. No, out of bounds. What is application binary interface? Yes. CI. I is not going higher than K. Makes sense. And there are 26 characters. How many characters in uh, English alphabet? 26, right? 26. So I equals 0. I is not going, I equal to, go till higher and equal to K. Because if K is even, go till the last character, and if K is odd, still go till the last character. We do not care about the shit. Yes, we do care about that one character which is going to be in the middle. We would like to change it in every period. So if K is odd, only then do we do int sm, the same thing that we did here above. Copy this, paste, copy paste, of course. Then for int I, int j equals 0, j less than 26, j plus plus sm plus equals c bracket k by 2 plus 1. Yes, if k is 3, we if k is 2, then this will return. If k is 2, then k by 2 is 1, and we do not want to go till equal to 1. Okay, and if k is 3, then we want to go till, still not go want to go till equal to 1. Okay, now this thing makes sense. And k by 2, yes. If k is 3, I want to get to index 1. If k is 5, I want to get to index 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, no, 0, 1, 2. 2 is in the middle, and we will go to 2. Okay, makes sense. It's j, take its j, and mx equals maximum of mx, or c k by 2 j. Answer plus equals sm sm minus m. Why is there out of bounds? What is out of bounds? This makes sense. When we are filling this thing, yes. Okay, so there is no out of bounds here. G++, the name is CK, as in like Lewis CK dot slash out. Let's go with this. Only one test case, 6 and 2, A, B, A, B, A. Okay, we do output high, so that is cool. I don't think we are going to see this high. Only one test case, 6, 2, A, B, A, B, A. Okay, we didn't see this high, so we messed up in this part somewhere. I is smaller than k by 2, I plus plus. Okay, and then this, which is also very amazing. And yes, whenever we are indexing, this is one place that we are indexing at, and this is another place that we are indexing at. This has to be k, not I. Okay. Okay, wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer. Okay, that is kind of messed up. Wait, sometimes we might not add anything at all. Yes, that makes sense. If everything is like according to plan, we do not want to add anything at all. And when would that be? That would be int change equals 0. If mx smaller ch plus equals cij and cj plus greater than 0, plus C K minus 1 minus I J also greater than 0. And if CH greater than 1, only then add this. We are only going to check this for 1 because we are going through all the J's. Shit, yes, we are going through all the J's and they have to be the same and also non-zero. Others have to be non-zero. Others have to be non-zero. So for in a perfect world, everything is same and we will have this CH equal to 2. Will we have this CH equal to 2? I don't want to experimentally check this out, but I want to predict if they if CH should be 2. If everything is a palindrome, then A and A, and yes, yes. Gosh, okay, I expected this to work, but unfortunately, okay, we do have to change some things here. Why? Because here the period is 2. So AB, we compared AB, A, and B. So we have to change this B and this A. We have to change this B and this A. Why do I say no? We don't have to change anything. That is a horrible thing to say. Wait, I am messing up. I am messing up. I am messing up somewhere. For the first character here, I have 1A. Wait, shit. This should still work even without this thing. Either maximum or less. Okay, now it is working. That is good. That is good. That's good. That is actually good. And still, I feel like something is not right. Something is not right. Something is not right. Uh, let's see. Delete everything and write from scratch. C in N, take in N, and take in K. And the string S. Wait, how much time? 19 minutes. That is okay. C in S, take in S. And now we are going to divide this string S logically, not like actually in data structure terms, but logically into chunks of size K. And we are going to count. We will have a vector of integers, normally called a matrix, CNT we will call it, and its size would be k number of rows, and vector int 26 number of columns. Yes, and what CNTIJ represents, this thing is in all the sub strings of, in all the chunks of size k, the count the count of the times j appears, jth char appears at position I. That is cool. And initially everything is 0. So for int I equals 0, I less than k, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j less than n by k and j plus plus. Why this thing? This thing, because we are indexing individually inside the strings. Yes, we are indexing individually inside the strings, inside those chunks of size k. I index, I is the index of the current character in that chunk. In the jth chunk of size k, we are at the ith character. And for that, count I, of course, in count I, we are going to add at location, we are going to add to j to get the index of the current character. The current character, we have to get first the current character, which is j into k plus I. This is the current character, and now we want to get its index. It is just minus a and plus plus. Increase its count by 1, because we just saw in chunks of size k at the ith location, we just saw this character. This is to get the, this is the way to get the index for that particular character. Now, this thing takes s time. This is the time complexity for this thing is n. And now answer equals 0. Now for int I equals for I equals 0, I goes smaller than k by 2 and I plus plus. In each chunk of size k, let's say our k equals 3 and we have some few strings. Let's say our k equals 2. In this case, our k equals 2. So we, our string initially, our string is a. This is our original string, and when we divide this into chunks of size k, we get this new thing. We get this new thing, and here we have to check for every I the opposite in this chunk of size I to make this chunk of size k a palindrome. We have to check what the character on the opposite side is and what are all of these characters at ith location in the, in all the substrings, and also the characters on the opposite side in all the substrings, what they are. And in total we will have to see how many characters there are. In total there are going to be like number of substrings, that is n by k into 2 characters. And what the best thing that we can do is find the character that is appearing the maximum number of times. Here a in this and in this, a is appearing the maximum number of times. So among these 6 choices, we should just not touch A because we want to reduce the number of times we are changing anything. So we will look for the maximum, the number, the character, not the character, but what is the count that a character appears maximum number of times. And for this, we are going to go through a lot of things. Yes, for int j equals 0, we are going to go through all the substrings, and there are j less than k by 2 substrings, right? And in each jth substring, we need to see the character at position I and the character at the opposite position and update max. And not just that, because there are multiple characters at, like right here, there are multiple characters. So we need another for loop somehow. No, I messed up. I messed up. Yes, because we have collapsed this thing into something like uh, at index 0, we have A appearing 2 times, and we have B appearing 1 time in all of the substrings combined. And at index 1, we have A appearing 2 times and B appearing 1 times. We have something like this. So I is already pointing to the ith character in every chunk of size k. We just need to find the maximum number of times that each character is appearing. For that, we have to iterate through all the characters starting from 0. J will be smaller than 26, j plus plus. Now, at the current location and also the opposite location, how many times do I see the jth character? So maximum is going to be maximum of mx, comma, already whatever mx is, or how many times jth character is appearing at index I, which is cnt index I, the character j, plus how many times this same jth character is appearing on the opposite side. And the opposite side is k minus 1 minus I, this jth character. And after getting the maximum, what we will do is answer plus equals, what are the total number of characters? The total number of characters is the number of substrings into 2, and the total number of substrings is n by k, and we divide this whole thing by 2. This is the total number of characters we have, and we can save among them mx number of characters that we do not have to change. Let's see out answer, whatever it is. K. I messed up a little bit somewhere. Yes, because k could be an odd number. So if k is odd, then mx equals 0, and we will go through every character into j equals 0, j less than 26, j plus plus, and mx equals maximum value of whatever mx is, or how many times does this jth character appears at index, the middle number, which is n by k, is k by 2, this jth character. Yes. And then answer plus equals the total number of substrings, which is n by k minus mx. Mhm. And int k, that does work. We can remove the comments. That might actually work. Which college? Tier 3 college near my house. That is the whole description for the college. submit and see. This is the third question for the day, and let's see if we can one shot this. Shit, I guess it is wrong. I guess it is wrong. I guess it is wrong. I guess shit. Messed up. We messed up. We messed up. Or is the time complexity too bad? Shit, why is it still on test number 2? Okay, it is on test number 4. Shit, I think I'm. Oh, okay. Shit, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Shit. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, that is good. That is good. That is good. 30 minutes. 30 minutes for this question. 30 minutes for this, and that is nice. We have done 3 questions for the day, and that is pretty cool. Okay, this question was nice. K-complete words. And I like this because just after reading this, I was able to determine what are the things that we need. I was able to determine that this string of size n, we have to cut this into chunks of size k, right? We have to cut this in chunks of size k, and we need two things. We need this whole string s to be palindrome, and we want these chunks of size k to have to be like equal to each other. And if I want, so I think the main thing that was important was that if I want n, this s whole string, to be a palindrome, I want the first character to be equal to the last character, and uh, the second character to be equal to the second last character, and same till the k minus 1th character. If this is 0th character, then 1, then this last character in the first size of chunk k is going to be k minus 1. And here, if this was n minus 1 character, this character right here is going to be n minus 1 minus n minus k, n minus k. And if I want 0th character to be equal to this just means that this every chunk of size k also has to be a palindrome. And that was nice. That was nice. That was the main thing that I needed to know. And then it was up to implementing the thoughts, which is nice. And with that, let me predict, or like try to guess what the uh, tags would be for this. I think they will be implementation, 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 implementation. What is DSU? DSU is something shit. I did look it up at some point, but no. DFS, how would you use DFS in something like this? I don't know. Oh, this one was C, K complete word, and code force is around 630. Let's see. One should notice that S of length n is K complete if and only if there exists a palindrome T of length K. Yes, such that S can be generated by several concatenations of T. Makes sense. So in the final string, all characters at position, all of these like I, K minus 1, I, K minus I plus 1, uh, okay, that is some weird naming scheme. Okay, the next kth character should be equal. This helps us to solve the problem independently for each I. Yes, we can solve this problem independently for each I for getting the first character. And minimize the required number of changes, you should make all the letters equal to 1, which appears at these positions the most initially. Yes, that is what we are calculating when we are looking for the maximum number. Calculate the maximum number of appearances and sum up all I. Be careful with an odd k, because we need to check separately for an odd k. That is nice. That is nice. And I would like to go to the washroom, and I will be right back in a minute. Mic is muted. Now it is not. And we have done 3 questions. Yes, 3 questions till now. And let's do one more. One more would be nice, like actually pretty nice. EHUB and Path-86 Mex. Pathetic Mex. Shit, why do I feel like I have seen pathetic before? No, I haven't seen pathetic before. I feel like I have seen pathetic before somewhere. Okay, let's start this one. Let's see. Okay, let us see. You are given a tree consisting of n nodes. You want to write some labels on the tree's edges such that the following conditions hold. Every label is an integer between 0 and n minus 2 inclusive, so 1 will be left. All written labels are distinct. The largest value among max UV over all pairs of nodes should be smallest. Every label should be an integer between 0 and n minus 1. N minus 2, okay, makes sense. There is one number for every label, makes sense. Oh, shit. The largest value among max UV over all the pair of nodes UV is as small as possible. Max UV here, max UV denotes the smallest non-negative integer that isn't on any edge on the unique pair samples. Simple path from node U to for 2 nodes over all the pairs. Here max UV denotes the smallest non-negative integer that isn't written on the over all the pairs. It should be as small as possible. And here we are considering unique path from U to V. Since this is a tree, we can go from any node to any other node. The largest value. The largest value among this is going to be n minus 1. The largest value among all the pairs is as small as possible. Largest value is going to be n minus 1. Since all labels are supposed to be distinct and there are in total n minus 1 things to label, n minus 1 edges to label, and for each edge and there are n minus 1 labels, and which means we will have to use every label from 0 to n minus 1, which also means that the maximum value is going to be n minus 2. How can we not make it equal to n minus 2? For 3 and 1 second, okay. I mean, I was not saying wait 1 second, I was saying 1 second is written here. Output n minus 1 integers. Okay, what is the edge? Label for the edge here. What is the label for the edge between these 2 points? Okay. Tree from the second simple graph, which is this. All of these are connected, and if we take max of So what we want is 0 and 3. Max is going to be, okay, in this case, maximum thing is going to be 2. Max is going to be 2. Max is going to be 2 here. Yep, yep. Because when we look at the simple path from 1 to the 6th node, the max is 2. Max is 2 because 2 is the smallest positive integer that is not on this simple path. 0, 1 and 4. 2 is not here. 2 is the smallest number that is not among 0, 0, 1 and 4. Could we have changed this? What would we want? Whatever the longest path is, we do not want all of these numbers. We could have had 1 here. Shit, this is the longest path. So, is there a way I can have no path? No, there is no way. Okay, so 0. Max is always going to be at least 2. Max is always going to be at least 2. We cannot make it smaller than 2 because one edge is always going to have index 0, value 0, and one edge is always going to have value 1, and we can always choose a simple path from this edge which has value 0 and this edge which has value 1, and that simple path, for that simple path we will have max 2, max equal to 2, and we cannot have it smaller than 2. So what we want to not increase this higher than 2 is have this 2 onto some other path that is not a part of this one this simple path which joins 0, 1 and 2. And if that is not possible, we will, yes, if that is not possible, then max is going to be 5, or like max is going to be n minus 1, because if we cannot put 2 on some separate branch from this simple path which has 0 and 1 as one of the edges, if we cannot put 2 onto some other path, then we won't be able to put any other number onto any other path, and this would not matter. Okay. Hello, my friend, Mr. Robot. This is Code Forces. We are trying to do this question, which uses some things, nodes and maxes. That is crazy. And yeah, we are trying to just solve questions here to get a higher rating. I like get better at programming, maybe as better as we can hopefully get mere mortals as we are. So the only thing that I have to check for is, are all the edges like in a single line? What is the maximum degree for a edge, for a node? If the maximum degree for a node, yes, shit, just find a node whose degree is at least 3. If I can find such a node, I can make, yes, I can make one of these equal to 0, one of these equal to 1, and the other one equal to 2. And we will be happy thereafter, and it does not matter what the other things are. That is all we need. to do. But then the problem is this thing. I guess we can store this in a pair. Yeah, we can store this as a pair and we will be happy. Okay, cool. So I'm going to use adjacency list to store the input int n cn n, and apart from that, yes, that is all that we need. And then calculate the degree. Okay, shit, we don't even need a adjacency list. We only need to find the degree. So we can have a vector of size, we will call it dig, as in like degree of size n, which will have degree for each node, and we will be representing nodes from using numbers 0 to n minus 1 degree. And then since we want to output pairs, right, we want to output numbers as we saw them, and my laptop is going to die. My phone is charged, that is nice. We will store, we will use a vector of pairs to just know the order in which we saw these numbers appearing. We will call it order, and we will have n minus 1 edges for int I equals 0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus, int L and R, as in like the left node and the right node for the current edge. C and L, R, take both the things in, and order, shit, I don't need left and right. C in order I dot first, order j dot first, and increase the degree of these nodes. Degree order I dot first increase by 1, and degree of order I dot second by 1. And yes, that is okay. That is okay. We just want something with a degree of at least equal to 2 or not. Yes. For int I 0, I less than n I plus plus. We are going to go through all the nodes. And second of all, I don't know what the first was, but second of all, we will subtract minus. We will subtract 1 from the first number, the first vertex, and the second one, because these vertices are given to us in one index, and we want them to be 0 indexed. And let's say x equals minus 1 initially. And if we ever find a degree of I, if degree of I greater than 2, x equals I. That is cool. Now, if x equal minus 1, what is that? If x equals minus 1, then the order does not matter and everything is in a singular line, right? Singularity. And yes, everything is in a singular line, and we are, yeah, we are messed up. So the order of these edges is not going to matter. We can do I0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus, C out I plus 1, C out I. That is going to be the answer then, and then return. But else, if that is not the case, then it means we have something. Then we will have a counter in C equals 0, a counter which will begin from 3. Yes, a counter which will begin from 3 and for int I equals 0, I less than n minus 1, I plus plus, and hello, hi. Yes, and if also one more thing, int, since we have x and we also need to see edge, this node, this vertex x, which has a degree of at least 3. So 3 of those edges that this x node is connected to, we want one of them to be 0, another one to be 1, and the third one to be 2. And then we don't care about anything else. So first we will see if any of these edge is x. So if shit, also we have to change the base index order I dot first minus minus and order j dot first minus minus. What is j? Why do I even have a j here? Second, 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 second. If any one of these order I, either order I equals x, that is the current edge has x as one of the nodes that it is connected to, or order I dot second equals x dot first. If any one of these is equal to x, and we have edge smaller than 2. If that is the case, then see out edge with a new line, and also edge plus plus, else see out c plus plus. And I think we are very good at this. Shit. We are messing up at some point. Order degree order LSP start clang D. We need some LSP helping. Pair is LSP stop. We can stop the LSP now. Out of bounds. That is the only thing that we have to fix, and after that, everyone will be happy. Okay. I till n minus 1 less than n minus 1. Order I taken second. That was stupid. But still, there is some mistake. Mhm. If the degree is higher than 2, then here we go. And if still x equals minus 1 in this, otherwise put c equals 3 and edge equals 0, order dot first. If the first one in this order or the second one either of them equals 0, and edge is less than 2, then we output the edge. So what is out of bounds here? Degree has a size of n, order has a size of n minus 1, and we are not ordering anything that has a higher size. And in degree also we are not ordering anything outside. See out. High. End lines. G++, what is the name? C E hub slash out. It's shit. Let's say something like this. Okay, we messed up big time. High, we did output high, so that is okay. So there is no problem above. Is there some problem till this point? Not slash out 6 1 2 1 3. Okay, we messed up and we didn't even see high, and we messed up beforehand before even processing the whole data. So how were we able to see high before? Something voodoo magic is happening here. We take in n. Okay, makes total sense. We are taking in n right here. Then we create a vector of size n and a vector of pairs to store the edges. Substitute order with edges. Shit. Substitute order with edges global. Take into edges I first and second. Wait, this makes sense. This makes sense. Pair and I've initialized that pair. That might have been a mistake. Okay, no. There is something sinister going on. That was not the mistake. Okay, there is high. That is nice. Shit. Yes. Because this thing is not test based. This thing is like this. There are not multiple test cases here. There is a single test case here. Okay, why do I have a return? Here we can say exit. Can we say exit? We can say else. Not just I output a new line also. That is actually correct. This one it says wrong, and let's actually write our own map. So we have 1 2 3. We can copy this and create our own graph, and we will compare if the one that we are outputting, if it is correct or not. So we have this in white color, of course, and then we have edges, 6 edges. We have 6 edges, 1 2 3, 4, 5, 6. Dyslexia. 1 and 2 are connected. 1 and 3 are connected. 2 and 4 are connected. 2 and 5 are connected. 5 and 6 are connected. 5 and 6 are connected. And the weights that we have given are this. The ones on the right. That is not it. These are the ones on the right. Not this. Not this. This one. Okay. So for the first thing, first connection 0, 1. Okay, we can put this here. Cool. So for the first connection, we have this equal to 0, 1 equal to weight is 0. Then for 1, 3, we have weight equal to 3. Then for 2, 4, okay, 2, we are going with 2. For 2, 4, we have weight equal to 1. Then for 2, 5, we have weight equal to 2. Then for 5, 6, this thing, we have weight equal to 4. And here we can see for every simple path, yep, the maximum is 2. Yeah, this is correct. This is correct. This is correct. This is actually correct. Let's submit this. And I'm like actually pretty hungry right now. Okay, I think we'll get this right. We'll get this right. And what is the time? Time complexity is also fine. Time complexity is not an issue here. Why is it stuck on test number 1? Okay, test number 3. Wrong answer. I don't expect a wrong answer, or maybe I do. Shit. There is a wrong answer. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Does not make sense. Wrong answer does not make sense. Wrong answer. The logic here is bulletproof, like literally bulletproof. 3, 4, 0, 1, 2 are reserved for the node with a higher degree. Yes, with a degree equal to 3 or greater. And then whenever we encounter one of the edges which is connected to that X node that we are looking for, and edge is smaller than 2, then only will we do this edge output. Otherwise, we output C, which starts from 3, because 0, 1, and 2 are reserved. I don't know how or why this would be wrong. And before that, here in this case, when x is equal to -1, that is, there is no node with a degree higher than 3, then we cannot have 0, 1, and 2 share. Yes, then we cannot have 0, 1, and 2 share such a configuration in which they do not appear on a singular simple path when x equals -1, and no node has a degree higher than 2. But if it does, then we know which one it is. Wrong answer. I would have to look at the test case. I don't want to look at the test case. There is some mistake here. There is some mistake here. I don't think There is a mistake in the logic. There is a mistake. There is a mistake in the code. It is messed up. Okay, let's delete the whole code and write it from scratch, and we'll see how it goes. And this time we won't make the same mistakes. Int n, take in n the number of nodes, and then we will like to keep track of degree of each node, and there are n nodes, and also the order in which we saw the edges. Vector, pair, int, edges or edge. There are going to be n minus 1 edges, and each edge we can begin initialize it like this, like so, this like so, and then we will take in the input, and there are going to be n minus 1 edges. Yes, cin, we can also say auto reference edge I, auto reference x comma y equal edge I. Now we can refer to the first element of edge I by x and the second element of edge I using y, and that is nice. That is kind of nice. So we will take in input to x and y, and we'll do x minus minus and y minus minus to make these vertices zero indexed, and then we will increase their degree. Degree of x increases by 1, and degree of y also increases by 1. Now we will look for some node x whose degree is higher than 2. So we could use the find function, but that would be like too much overhead. And I equals 0, I less than n, because there are n edges in total, and if degree of this ith edge is greater than 2, then x equals I. And at the end we will check if x equals minus 1, then there is no degree with this edge, no node with a degree higher than 2, then the max which we are trying to minimize is not going to be, is going to be n minus 1, which is the maximum value it can have. So we can just output these edges in any order, does not matter, because 0, I minus I less than n minus 1, that is the maximum, that is the number of edges we have, I plus plus, C out I and a new line. But else, if that is not the case, if that is not the case, we have some x, then int c equals 3, and int e as an edge equals 0. Because we have 0, 1, and 2 values of edges reserved for this x node, which has a degree of either equal to 3 or greater than 3. And for every other node, we will increase their counting from 3, starting from 3. So now we will go through all the edges, for which we can do for auto x comma y in edge. We will see if either x equals, okay, let's say L and R, as in like left and right. If either the left node of this current edge equals x, or the right node of this current edge equals x, and if it is, we also want e to be smaller than equal to 2. Only then 2 is smaller than 3. Only then do we say cout e and plus plus. My shift is not working. Plus plus. Else, if that is not the case, else cout c plus plus. And we also need a new line no matter what happens. Correct answer there, and should be like amazingly right. 03124. 03124. And I believe this should work. Damn, yep, knew it, bro. Are you live or this? Nope, I am pretty much live. Hello, uncle, brother. And you see this, the background is blur, and this looks very amazing. This looks very good. Uh, okay, shit, there was some mistake. Wrong answer on. Hell yeah. There we go. Hell yeah. Yep, background is blur, and this is ghosty. And I can show you like a little thing. I have a configuration folder. I can configure my ghosty to, let's say, I can change the background light 75, and see, now it is lighter, a bit lighter. And I can increase it to the sweet spot, which is 79, 0.79. That is the sweet spot. And we can also increase the blur. There is a lot of blur now. We can decrease the blur a bit. That is nice. That is just the power that there is with Ghosty. Ghosty is the terminal. Attach TCP. Back to the question. There is something wrong. There is something wrong. Oh my god, oh my god. I'll change mine to blur to yes. Blur looks amazing, right? Blur just looks amazing. Because it feels like the background is actually in the background. And I can also read the code without any problem. That is nice. Shit. There is some mistake. There is some mistake. There is some mistake in this. There is some mistake in this. And I don't know what the mistake is. Taken n degree n. And all of the edges. There are n minus 1 edges in total. Then we take in all the edges like so. And we do x minus minus and y minus minus to make both of these vertices or nodes, people might call them, 0 next. And then x, we initialize x is something that we are looking for, and we initialize it to be equal to minus 1. And then we are looking for a node whose degree is greater than 2 or equal to 3. Greater than 2 or equal to 3, uh, which is the same thing. And then we update our x to be equal to that particular node. And if x was not updated, then shit, we do not have any optimization, and we output these numbers in any order, does not matter. But if there is some such x node, then we need some, then we can do some clever optimizations and do this. But it is not here. But it is not here. Uh, E E is for like the x edge has a degree of at least 3, which means in the total number of edges, it is going to appear at least 3 times. And whenever it appears, either the left one, left edge, left node for the current edge, since we are iterating through the edges, either the left node for this current edge or the right node for this current edge, one of them, if it is equal to x, and shit, if the error was because of these brackets, then I'm going to kill myself. And I think it was because of these brackets. I think it was because of these brackets. And this was correct the first time, but I messed up. And the error was because of these brackets. Shit. Shit. And I think the error was because of these brackets. And if it was, then okay. Then okay. Kilo. Okay. Why is it stuck? Can we get past test 8? Yes, we can get past test 8 if we get to test number 47. And the error was because of those brackets. Yes, it is accepted. Yes. So the error was because of the brackets. Shit. So what can we learn from this? We can learn that if we have some expression E1 and then OR and then expression E2 and then an AND and then an expression E3, if this is the one with higher priority. So this whole thing is more like this thing. We are evaluating this expression on the left and this expression on the right. And shit, that was the mistake. That was the mistake. That was the mistake. I should have used brackets to begin with, parentheses. Okay, now it is right. Now it is okay. 41 minutes for this question. 41 minutes. It would have been faster. We did the first submission at 29. It is 45, but so that is universal time. That is UTC plus 5.5. So this is the current time where I live. Yes, it is actually the current time. So I submitted this for the first time at 29 and now it is 45. Oh, I would have done this 20 minutes earlier if I was not a bit stupid. This is nice. This is nice. 16 minutes. Shit, bro is too fast. 16 minutes, yes. Okay, so that is cool. That is cool. How much time has it been? It's been 3 hour and 40 minutes. 3 hour and 14 minutes. That is exactly value of exactly. It is irrational. Very irrational of me to say pi has an exact value. And let's refresh. This is going to be green. This is green. So we have done 4 questions for today. And this is nice. These questions at 1500 rating are taking a toll. And these are difficult. And I have to get good. We have to get good. Yes. And tomorrow is a contest. It is going to be pretty nice. We will see. We'll see. We'll see. And for today, this is going to be the end of the stream. For today, this is going to be the end of the stream. And thank you for being here. Bye. Yep. And there is also a delay. I'm looking at the chat right now. If there is something someone has to say, and I guess the latency delay is gone. And yeah, thank you for being here. Bye.